So yeah, if you could just start off with your name.
Sure, sure. So my name's Oliver Adams.
Okay, perfect. So the first question is, could you just give me some sort of just background information just about you, your family, just about the situation, I guess.
Sure. So I'm married with two children, two daughters. I've been married for about 15 years. My eldest daughter is 15. Um, my eldest daughter has not been going to school very much for some time, on and off, largely due to bullying and sort of having friends issues at school. And not only was she not going to school, but she started to self-harm as well. And so we tried a number of things. We had Family Solutions come round to talk to us, to try and sort of give us advice on how to deal with the situation. And we went on self-harming courses to try and understand more about that. We worked with the school. They were very accommodating. They were very good, actually. They tried to change classes, things like that for her where they could. They did a reduced timetable for a while. We had I paid for counselling for my eldest daughter Sophia, and then we had later on we had CAMS eventually came to give counselling as well, but none of that really worked. We kind of she went back to school for a while. We thought we turned a corner, and then she fell out with friends again, very shortly after that, and then that was it. She was off school, so we needed to try something else.
Um, what sort of personal struggles have you kind of experienced with anxiety?
Yeah, so I think I always knew I had anxiety, some sort of I didn't really realize it was an anxiety disorder actually until I started this course. I always knew I'd had problems with being anxious. My wife was always saying, you're always catastrophizing, you're always, looking for the worst case scenario, and most people don't think like you. And I just thought that, everyone thought like me, and this is what you were supposed to be. And I guess it come from my job that I do, very sort of, looking at risks and threats and things. And so I did have a very high level of anxiety. And when I started this course, Anxious to Awesome, I started watching the videos of Sam, I sort of very quickly realized that I was suffering from a high anxiety disorder, high functioning anxiety disorder. And I needed to do something about it for me, and change, because I wasn't doing my health any good as a result of it. And I'm 52, so I've had this for a long time. And watching the videos was a kind of an epiphany. It was a change for me, definitely.
And how would you say kind of your anxious behavior or your just anxiety in itself has affected kind of your parenting, but also your fi family dynamic?
Yeah, I didn't realize the damage that my anxiety was doing to my family. They were kind of dealing with it themselves, dealing with me and my behavior, but I didn't realize that my anxiety was bleeding into their worlds, quite severely. Um, and I think, we were trying to get Sophia to go to school and using the old fashioned parenting that I'd kind of grown up with, by trying to discipline my daughter. Ended up in shouting matches and all that kind of thing. We tried taking away the phone, taking away the computer. That didn't work. That just made matters worse. And so, yeah, it was having a big impact on them. It wasn't working. Yeah.
And I guess then what has changed now, being through the program and making the changes that you need to, what has actually changed in the family?
Yeah, so I watched the videos about, understanding anxiety, and I was taking those steps to reprogram myself to try and be different, having a different mental routine every time. So building up that awareness of anxiety, and realizing that you're anxious and that actually you're catastrophizing, and that's what's causing your anxiety, and distracting yourself with other thoughts, and convincing yourself to, right, that's just anxiety, that's just your old way of thinking. I need to think differently, distract, go to your happy place, think about something else, park that issue. You've dealt with it. The worst isn't going to happen. It generally doesn't. Um, and so since I've done that, um, my whole family have noticed a change, and I've noticed a change in the whole household. Has become massively calmer, and I now have a much better relationship with everyone, particularly my oldest daughter, who now opens up and speaks to me and talks to me. And before, she was very shut down, very difficult to talk to. So yes, it's had a huge impact in a
And
short
this,
space of time. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. Th This is the last question, but if there were other parents out there who are struggling with their child with their anxiety, and they're looking to join our program, what would you say? And it's kind of slash, would you recommend us?
yeah. So um, there's an old phrase. The definition of madness is if you keep repeating the same thing and expecting a different result. That is sheer madness. You've got to try something different, a different approach. If you've tried all the things that I've tried, and if you listen to that and you've gone, yeah, we've tried all that and that hasn't worked, you need to try something else. You need to try a different approach. This is a different approach, and I would highly recommend it. Absolutely. So if you're worried about is this going to work, um, it's very expensive, all those kinds of things. I totally resonate with that because you kind of think, well, I've spent all this money already on counselling and different things, and that hasn't worked. Is this going to be more, good money after bad? Trust it, go with it, try it. I recommend it. It has worked for us so far, and we've got to keep going. We're only sort of halfway through the program, but we've seen great results. And my daughter already wants to go back to school, and so we're kind of working towards that by going through this course. So yeah, absolutely, 1,000% recommend it.
Thank you. Is there anything else you want to say? This is kind of your chance to put anything out there that you want to put out. So,
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing's been enlightening, life changing, a massive change in how I view the world and how I view my family and how they view me, a real understanding. Sometimes we go through life just being ourselves, not realizing the wake of damage we might be leaving behind us. So it's important that as a parent, you realize that you've got to change, which is one of the emphases at the beginning of the course. It starts with you as a parent. You need to change the style, the approach in order to relate to that little person that's got stuff going on. You need to understand them. It's a different world now to when we were kids, and we've got to do different things. So yeah, that's the whole thing's been life changing, I would say.
perfect. Thank you so much. I'm going to stop the